Hi, my name is Kathy Skipper and I'm a menopause midwife. Welcome to my channel, The Alchemy of Menopause. In this video, I'm going to lead you into a guided meditation to meet and connect with a goddess that is right for you. And the reason why I want to share this meditation with you is because I've done it with my mentorship group and with myself, and I found it extremely helpful and empowering and supportive. And so have the women, later on after doing the meditation and speaking to the women who took part in it, they too had the same results from this. And so I really want to share it with you. The reason why I think it's important that we connect with goddesses and goddess archetypes and goddess energies during this transitional period of menopause and then beyond is because we have all been brought up in a society where the dominant religious, spiritual teachings have been about God the Father in some form, be they Christian or Jewish or whatever it is. Yes, there are some women in the stories, but the main aspect of power is about God the Father and Jesus the Son and the Holy Ghost. And so what's really nice about connecting during this time of transition with these goddess energies is that it brings a balance to those stories. And that's what we're really looking for. We're not trying to judge or get rid of anybody's religious beliefs. What we're trying to do is find a balance that resonates with the feminine, because at menopause and beyond, we're really reclaiming the deeper parts of the feminine that have been buried and denigrated for so many generations. So when I started my menopause journey, I was very fiery. I was burning up. I literally had cancer and had to have a hysterectomy. I was very, very angry because I realized that my mother had lied her whole life. She died just as I was going into menopause. And so Kali was a brilliant goddess for me. Plus my mother line is from a mixed race community in India. So Kali was part of that heritage as well. And she really, working with Kali and her fierceness and her righteous anger and the symbols of her with her tongue sticking out were really right for me at that stage. And I actually went to India with Florian and we went to the ancient Kali temple in Kolkata, which is where my mum was born too. So there was this whole story around Kali, and I think she really helped me because that anger that I felt and that burning energy was what needed to be transformed as I went through my journey. I'm now 60 and way past my menopause and working with another goddess who's turned up, also from my roots in India, but these from where my great-grandmother was born in northeast India. And the goddess that I'm working with now is Lakshmi. And there's a beautiful temple where we visited the town where my great-grandmother was born, and the temple is dedicated to Lakshmi, so that felt good. But beyond that, there's also this story of the women in my motherline, that their story was one of victimhood and being reliant on men and being colonized. And so I'm rewriting that story, and part of rewriting that story is being able to make a business that has abundance and that I'm at the helm of. And so there's this story of rewriting it so I'm empowered, I'm independent, and I'm abundant, all the things that the women in my motherline weren't able to be. And so Lakshmi, who's this goddess of bountiness and of wealth and of health and of beauty, is really, really helping me with this. It's an energy that I'm finding very, very supportive. And so, there are little things that you can do as well once you find your goddess. For example, I bought this old amulet from India that is of Lakshmi, and I like wearing it. She's always with me. I also bought an effigy of her that's on my altar, so that when I tend my altar, there she is. And I built my altar around, or cleaned it all and built it around her. So before we go into the meditation, you'll see that when as we go into it, I'm going to guide you to try and connect with the land of your motherline. And by that, I just want to tell you before we begin, I don't mean, if your ancestors came on the Mayflower or were pioneers into America, I don't mean where they landed in America. What I'm trying to get you to connect with is an older land, a land where your people were living very close to the land, where their ancestral stories and medicines and foods and myths and music and ways of being came out of that land. So, it could be somewhere in Europe, could be Ireland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, France, it could be India like mine, it could be Africa, it could be anywhere. But that's what I feel is important, to connect to the mother line when we're looking for this goddess at this particular time in our life. Okay, so I'm going to use an oil because I just really like using aromatics when I'm guiding and journeying. And so if you have oils in your toolbox and you want to use one, just choose an oil that resonates for you at this moment in your life, that helps you to come within and feel good. I'm using white fir, which we recently distilled, and it's really about alignment, and it's very grounded, but at the same time it reaches up into the sky, and it's sparkly and alive and ancient. The firs, the conifers, are much more ancient than a lot of the flowering trees. Okay, so get comfy. You can put me on pause whilst you get ready. And we will begin our meditation to connect with the right goddess for you at this time in your life. So feel the earth holding you. Feel yourself safe and connected to wherever you are in this world at the moment. And of course, it doesn't matter if your ancestors weren't from the place you're sitting in today. Mine aren't from here. I'm at northern New Mexico, but I really feel the connection, the safety and the support from this land. So tune into that. If you're somewhere, you're meant to be there, and that land is holding you. Remember to breathe. You might want to take a couple of deep breaths and drop your attention down into your womb space. Noticing your sexual organs just wake up a little bit and welcome you as they feel you embodying, coming out of your mind and into your embodiment. And once you're settled, then allow yourself to find yourself on a beautiful land, in a landscape. And this is the landscape I was talking about. You find yourself on a landscape that is in some way deeply connected to your mother line. And that could be that you know that land. You know where your mother line's from. You've maybe even been there. Or it could be that you have no idea, but deep down you are confident that your imaginal realm, the images that come from your unconscious, are going to be the right ones, and they're going to be somehow connected to the land of your mother line. Remember to breathe. And as you step onto that land, just breathe in the air. Allow yourself to be infused with wherever you find yourself. Notice, open your eyes and look around. What do you see? What do you feel? What type of landscape have you found yourself in? Is it mountainous? Is it green and lush? Is it desert? Is there water there? Is it the ocean? No wrong or right. Just allow yourself to be immersed in this landscape that's come from within you, that is deeply in some way connected to you. After a while, you notice there's a path, and you take that path. You know it leads you to a sacred place. Just notice where it's leading you. Notice how you feel. Maybe there are flowers. You're looking at the trees. You're hearing the birds. Does this land take you to a temple, maybe? Or to the side of the river? Or to a lake? Or to a sacred tree? There's no wrong or right. Just allow yourself to be guided to this sacred place. Could be a glade of trees. Could be a stone fire pit. Just allow your imaginal realm to offer you the sacred place that's right for you today. And as you start to allow yourself to be infused with this sacred place, to smell it, to see it, to hear it, to feel it, you start to realize that there's a being coming into that space to join you. It is the goddess coming to meet you. At first you might just feel her presence and energy. And there's never any wrong or right. Don't force anything, don't judge anything, don't try and make anything happen. Just allow. Allow this presence to approach you, this energy of the goddess coming to meet you. Remember to breathe. This ancient deity of the land approaching you. She who comes from the ancient myths, the sacred stories of the people of the land. Your people. In some way she's deeply connected to your bones, to your DNA, to your blood. And today she's come to connect with you. She's come because she's going to accompany you at this time in your life, during this transition. As you feel her, connect with her, feel her energy. You don't need to look at her yet, you don't need to see her, just feel her energy. Her presence all around you. And then you might be ready to notice her visually. And again, there's no wrong or right. However she turns up is how she's meant to turn up today. And she may just stay as an energetic texture around you. Or you may get to see her in some form, be it human form, animal form. Just notice, how does she turn up for you today? If you can see her eyes, look into them, feel them, connect with them. Notice her attire, the colours, the textures, the shapes. How has she turned up for you today? Feel that connection. Maybe you even feel a sort of love between you. She's been waiting for you to connect with her for a long time. Maybe you felt her in the periphery of your existence. Maybe you felt her or read about her in myths, or just sensed a presence. You're together in this sacred space, this ancient land. And what's important is that she is transmitting her energy to you. The energy of her particular goddess energy. She's connecting it to you. This is her gift for you. Remember to breathe. Feel that transmission of energy. The goddess has come for you today. She starts to communicate with you, maybe in words that you can hear, or maybe just that you sense what she's telling you. Psychically, she's talking to you. Whatever way is right for you and her. No judgment, no forcing, just allowing. All you have to do is receive her message, listen to it in whatever way is right for you. She's committing to you. She's offering you her ancient feminine wisdom. She's coming into partnership with you. Really feel her, listen to her, receive her. Feel her in your cells, waking them up. And as you feel her waking up your cells, the deep feminine in you that she resonates with, you can feel the goddess's, excuse me, attire, the dresses, maybe even a headdress. You are becoming the goddess. You are being clothed like the goddess, in whatever way is right for you and her. This is the beginning of her true, deep guidance, her support, her wisdom that she wants you to know is from now on, this moment forwards, always available to you. Remember to breathe. Really feel in that attire that you've taken on that the goddess is in you, with you, at all times. You will notice her in the synchronicities of your life. You will notice her in the cracks between life's moments. You will recognize her in the gifts and support your life will offer you. You will know she is in the magic of your existence. You will feel her from now on, always with you, a part of you. Remember to breathe. As you feel this transmission, this receiving of the goddess in you, honor this gift. Know its power, its wisdom for you as you transition in your life to becoming a sovereign woman, a wise, older woman. This work between you and the goddess is for you and your journey and for the collective. This is necessary healing and balance. Really feel it entering you. Remember to breathe. You thank her, and she accompanies you to the spot at which you entered this landscape. And as you go to leave this landscape, you really feel her in you, and you hear her whisper, I am the goddess, and I am with you. And boof, you are back, and you are changed, because you have her with you. Remember to breathe. Okay, so you may want to journal a little bit on what came up for you during that journey. And the other thing that I advise is to go onto Google and type in the place that your mother line was from, if you know it. Like I said, could be Ireland or France or India or Africa or wherever it is. And write the name of the place and the goddesses connected to that place. And as you look at the names that come up and tune into them, I promise you, you will know which one came to you today. You will feel it like you felt her in the cells of your body. And once you know who she is, you may already know, but if you don't already, once you find her, then you can really build that relationship. What I often do is I read about Lakshmi at night, sometimes on Google Scholar, more scholarly and more in-depth writings about her, sometimes just in books that I have. And I really try to connect with her and feel her. It's really good before you go to sleep because that helps in your dream time. As I said, I have her on my altar, I have her around my neck, and I'm really feeling the support as we go into this scary time in the world. As sovereign women, we need this support so that we do turn up authentically supported by the feminine in a world that has in many ways only honoured the masculine and denigrated so much of the feminine. And that's the balance we're looking for. That's why this work with the goddesses is so important. So anyway, I hope you found it you find it as helpful and empowering as I have and many of the women I've worked with have. And if you like this channel, please subscribe, it really helps. And I'll see you next week. Lots of love. Okay, how long was that?
20 minutes.